Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin. We have way too much to cover today, as we always do. So we'll start with the quote of the day. This one comes to us from loyal Suns Latest viewer, Hammer Don PHX. This is a great quote. Quote, wherever you go, there you are. End quote. John Kabat-Zinn. John Kabat-Zinn, professor of medicine and other weird New Age crap. No, I love New Age stuff. I actually meditate and think about balance and all that stuff, and I love Tai Chi. I love all that stuff. But UMass is where Dr. J played hoops in college. Teacher of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a great way to say just pay attention and be where your feet are, and it's a really good way to remind yourself that don't take everything so seriously and don't freak out and try not to be preoccupied, which is very hard to do in today's world. Wherever you go, there you are. So apply it to minute things. If you're watching TV, watch TV. Put your phone in the other room and watch TV. Okay, pick it up during commercials. There's one little thing you can do to be mindful of something. Really cool quote. Thank you for that. Right, so the next preseason game is today, or was today. It was at 4:30 a.m. Remember, I recorded these a day before, so I don't think I'm going to be able to report on the game. We'll do that on Monday. I will tell you this, though. The Suns play the Nets 2 games today in China, and then on the 12th in China, and both are going to be against the Brooklyn Nets. As of this recording, Jalen Green, Mark Williams, and Kobe Brea were still game time decisions. They didn't play in the first preseason game. Not worried about Kobe Brea. What's going on with Jalen Green, and why aren't they really making it too public? And Mark Williams, they got to be transparent about his injuries. I'm not saying Mark Williams is injured. I'm almost positive they're going, you know what, let's just make sure Mark Williams is ready for the regular season. So let's keep him out and give him limited touches in preseason. I'm fine with that. But if there's really something wrong again with him, I want to know now. Right now. I'm waiting. I don't think there's anything hugely wrong with him. Suns kick off the regular season Wednesday, October 22nd at Phoenix Arena against the Sacramento Kings. So I want to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, finally put his team on the clock. And this has been rumbling since the year after they didn't get to the finals and go for the repeat. They came within one game the year after they beat the Suns in the finals. Loyal as any superstar, especially in a small market. The Greek freak has finally said, hey, I might be looking to opt out. His contract is for this season and next season, and then he can become a free agent. The Dame Lillard thing did not work out. Injuries. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, an incredible backbone for him. Perfect supporting cast for a superstar like him. They are gone. The Bucks brought in Pacers center Miles Turner. Good move after losing Middleton and Lopez. But he's not the mountain mover blockbuster that the Bucks needed. Why did not the Suns go get Miles Turner when they wanted him for DeAndre Ayton? I will never understand. Miles Turner is a good pro. DeAndre Ayton, well, you saw him in the first preseason game. One win shy, returning to the finals in 2022. Then 3 consecutive first-round playoff exits. Not one playoff series victory since. Now, to be fair, Giannis has been injured in 2 of those 3 playoff ousters, too. So it's not all on the organization, but with better backup, they might not have been ousted in the first round, and he would have had time to prepare and get a little bit more healthy. Rumor among the front office is Giannis is far from convinced that the current roster of the Bucks is a title contending team. You got the Knicks. You have, who else is good in the East? Well, not next year. But you have the Pacers, you got the Knicks, and the up-and-coming Orlando Magic. You have teams to contend with. At the same time, the Pacers and the Celtics are out of the picture, so maybe the Bucks can make some noise this year. You never know. The other rumor is that he would welcome a trade to the Knicks, and there were actual discussions last August. First time Giannis has actually mentioned another team when it came to someplace he might want to be other than Milwaukee, and that is huge. He has the season and next year left on his current deal, which means if the Bucks don't win the title this year or come way close, or the following year, he's out. I don't think he's out this year. I have a feeling come summer, he's really going to be pushing that envelope, especially if they have another first-round exit, or if something just doesn't go, or for whatever reason. But if they don't go far in the playoffs this year, you can say that this might be his last year. Now, he is one of the few guys in the league, and I do not care that he's a 13-year pro. He is one of the few guys in the league. He gets on your team. You pair him up with somebody like, I don't know, Devin Booker. You are title contenders. He's that good. He's that special of a basketball player. Trade the entire team except for Devin Booker to the Bucks if that's what they want, if that's how it works. Or if he's a free agent, figure it out and get rid of everybody and sign him and let the pieces fall where they may. Book and the Freak in the West, that's a headache for everybody else. Just saying. It's important to think about these things. All right, so moving on to your comments. Not a ton today because we have more to talk about regarding Devin Booker. At Doug Drew, Grayson should be at the top of three-point percentage again this year. Let's go. Hell yes. I think Coach Ott knows what he has in Grayson Allen. And if he doesn't start, since Jalen Green seems to have an issue, and I know I always seem to go at Jalen Green, I have a hate-love relationship regarding Jalen Green. I'm sorry, I'm cynical about it. I just don't think he's going to be a good fit. At the same time, what if he is? Because he's freaking talented. It can absolutely fill it up. You never know. But if Grayson Allen ends up being the starter, he is a perfectly serviceable guy next to Booker, even though he's not a traditional point, but he does not make mistakes. He does not miss threes. Grayson Allen, if he is relegated to the bench, which is fine, if he's our sixth man, Grayson Allen could absolutely 100% be sixth man of the year. And you watch that happen. I think he's going to have an amazing year. Dagoon R. Cedric Ceballos was one of my favorite dirty workers. Rest in peace, Cotton Fitzsimmons. Rest in peace, Cotton Fitzsimmons. Yeah, Cedric Ceballos was a badass. The few times I got to see him play live, I got to see him play with Barkley the year after the Suns went to the finals in '93. His slithery, serpentine, snake-like plays under the basket, he was like a magician under there. He just got by guys. He was just strong enough to get through and fight through a screen. He was just finesse enough and had long arms and giant hands, flicking the ball. His around the basket game should have been taught. It was reminiscent of not the footwork that Olajuwon had, but as far as awareness of where the rim was and where he was, unparalleled. Cedric Ceballos could have been a real good one if not for injuries and some other weird stuff. Here's a Cedric Ceballos story that you didn't know. I wasn't there, but a buddy of mine worked for the Lakers back in the day, and Cedric Ceballos was a pretty big prospect coming out of Cal State Fullerton. And Jerry West was running the Lakers. GM, I guess. He was the guy that would watch the rookies or the prospects. And all the rookies were invited to the Forum Club back when it was the Fabulous Forum and the Lakers played there. And Jerry West watched how these guys behaved socially. And there was an open bar at the Forum Club. And hey, do whatever you want. You weren't not allowed to do stuff. You weren't not allowed to do stuff. Jerry West, the story goes, saw Cedric Ceballos do a couple of shots and then proceed to get pretty drunk. He didn't throw up. He didn't get sloppy. He didn't get rude. He just was a little too comfortable hanging out at the bar for Jerry West. Anyway, the Lakers did not draft him. He eventually got to the Lakers and became an all-star, even though he didn't play in the game because he was injured. But yeah, hell of a player. Leo Jones, 22. Hey, Rich. Hey, Leo. Just imagine if these Brooks trades do come true. We'd have Jalen Green, Jaden Ivey, Jonathan Kuminga, and Ron Holland, plus 20, 27, 29, and 21 first-round picks back. It is hard to think about Book not retiring as a Sun, and it is hard to think about Dylan Brooks going to the Warriors for Jonathan Kuminga, but they're all possibilities. It's still a business. You still have to consider your future. But that is a crazy haul. I don't like thinking about Devin Booker not being on the Suns. I like the idea of Devin Booker retiring on the Suns, but you can't snub your nose. You can't turn away from a possible haul like that. You just can't. You have to consider it. You have to consider it. That's just life in the NBA. But speaking of Devin Armani Booker, top 15 legend of the day, we are at number 4. And he's still playing, so there's plenty of room for growth. The 6'5", 206-pound shooting guard out of 1 year at Kentucky, the 4th greatest Phoenix Sun of all time, and he's not finished yet. Drafted 13th overall in 2015 by the Suns, the only team that Devin Booker has ever played for. 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA selection, 1st and 3rd team selection, 7 years on some terrible Suns teams, but Booker is still here. He has stayed the course, he has remained loyal, and he has simply gotten better and better and better. Continued to improve. Youngest player in NBA history to score over 60 points in a game when he set a Suns franchise record 70 against the Boston Celtics. Booker haters love to bring up this game. Tyson Chandler was just feeding him over and over. The Celtics just stopped playing defense on him. Everybody wanted to see if he could get 70. Yeah, that's pretty much how a lot of those games go. And not to rip on anybody that scored over 60 points in a game but was getting close to 70. That's how it goes. You start feeding the guy because you want to see if he can get 70. By the way, Booker was only 20 years old when it happened. Booker haters are really weird. And living in Los Angeles and going to Laker games, Booker haters are phenomenal. I mean, they're like yelling at themselves in the freaking hallways of Crypto.com I've seen after the Suns a couple of years ago destroyed the Lakers at a game where Booker had like 35. They really hate him. because they know how good he is. So that's a compliment because you Laker fans know a great player when you see one. Yeah, 70 points against the Celtics when he was 20. Youngest player in NBA history with consecutive 50-point games. He was 22. Book is so good it's considered an off year when he's the 9th leading scorer in the league at 25.6 like he was last season. Anthony Davis, I always do this. Anthony Edwards averaged 27.6. He averaged a bucket more than Booker last year. And everybody said, oh, God, Edwards has just completely surpassed him. He's so much better. It's like he had one more bucket a game. He averaged 2 points more a game than Devin Booker. And Devin Booker had Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and a 3-point jacking Tyus Jones on his team last year and was still top 10 in the league in scoring at over 25 points a game. Booker haters are just phenomenally weird. The ultimate teammate, you all want Booker on your team. Any Suns haters, any Booker haters, you will take him on your team tonight. And you know it. All NBA first team in 2022. Led us, along with Chris Paul, to the finals in 2021. Franchise best 64-win season in 2022. Last year, Booker surpassed Walter Davis as the Suns' all-time leading scorer. There isn't a shot Booker can't make out of necessity because he was moved to point guard. Point Book, which I don't like saying. I said I wouldn't say it again, but this requires me to bring it up. Devin Booker, if required, is as good a point guard as most regular point guards in the league. Right now, technically, he's the best point guard we have. Devin Booker can get you 20 points and 10 assists if asked. If he needs to switch to point guard or if he needs to facilitate, he can and will. He played with Ricky Rubio. He played with Chris Paul. He figured it out. Just means he's a much more well-rounded player. See, when Booker, he's not really a point guard, it's just criticism for people who don't like him. He's so freaking good. Book came to his own, leading the Suns to an 8-0 record in the bubble, named to the All-Bubble team, whatever that was called. It wasn't called the All-Bubble team. We called it the All-Bubble team. A weird but pretty cool honor. The following year, along with Chris Paul, Book exploded. He had Ricky Rubio. You saw what he could do when he could just be Book. Then Chris Paul gets there. He made the playoffs for the first time in his debut. 34 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists debut against the defending champion Lakers. Does anybody remember that we knocked off the defending champion Lakers in 2021? I always forget that, we beat the Lakers. We beat them to get to the title. In the series clincher over the Lakers, 47 points, 11 rebounds. That's so weird. I keep forgetting that. Knocked them off. Suns advanced to the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets. You remember Suns in 4. In Game 4 of that sweep, 34 points, 11 rebounds. First Western Conference appearance in 2010 since 2020. I'm going to chop off my tongue. I know some of you would applaud that. Shut up. First Western Conference Finals appearance since 2010. Booker then gets his first career triple-double, 40, 13, and 11, in a 120-114 win over the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. In Game 6, the Suns close out the Clippers and make the finals for the first time since '93, led by the best backcourt in the league against the Bucks. They won the first 2 games, and it looked like things were going really well, and we all know what happened. Let's just focus on Book. Broke Rick Barry's 54-year-old record of most points in his very first playoff appearance. When you're breaking records by Rick Barry and Steve Nash and Walter Davis, you're doing something very right. In his first career playoffs, Book averaged 27.3, 5.6, and 4.5. 45, 32, and 91% shooting, back-to-back 40-point games in the finals. He did everything possible to help the Suns get a ring. He was unguardable. The Suns just came up short. But Book had absolutely arrived. By the next year, 64-win season, best in franchise history, first team All-NBA, hammy injury against the Mavs in the semis. After the Suns jumped to a 2-0 lead, we all know what happened. Put up a good fight against eventual champion Denver the following year, surpassed Nash for most three-pointers in Suns history. In February of last year, he surpassed Walter Davis. Stats prove that he is the most prolific offensive player the Suns have ever had, and he's not even 30. Booker can get so much better. The sky is the limit for our superstar. His game has become so well-rounded that when he is on, he is unstoppable, unguardable, and y'all know it. And if you hate him, oh well, he's still going to run over you. This year, Booker will be top 5. He will be All-NBA first team, and the Suns might surprise a few people. The loyalist, the franchise, Devin Booker is your Suns legend of the day. Thank you for watching Suns Latest. I'm Rich Rubin. We'll do it again soon.